Hey everybody, Nolan here. We are here for another plant talk. Today we're talking about Western poison ivy, also known as Texicodendron rybigerae. So, how you identify this guy is their leaves can vary a little bit. Usually it'll look a little bit jagged, like you can see on this one. It has kind of like a little bit of a jagged edge there. They will usually be growing in patches because most of this is actually going to be connected to all the same vine system underneath the ground. You're looking for 3 leaves. So you have 2 leaves on the side. They kind of butt up against each other, against the stem. Whereas the other one, this front one here, will have a longer petiole and will kind of go out a little farther and then droop down. You can also tell because a lot of times they will look either glossy or like they have kind of like a white substance on them a little bit. So here I'd say they look more like they have the white substance. It's very faint though, but we have a whole big patch of it all in here. Now what happens is it causes an allergic reaction. So the substance all over it, it's called urushiol. It's on its stem, leaves, all that stuff. If you get it on your skin, you can get it like on your clothes, even like if you get it on your dog. If your dog happens to go off the trail into it, then it's a very potent substance, so it can transfer really easily. So if I had some on my shin and I scratched it, and then I scratched my face, now I've just transferred it from my shin to my fingers to my face, and then I'll end up having an allergic reaction there as well. Now, what you can do and what I do a lot of times is it takes a while to actually absorb in. So if you think you've touched it, the best thing to do is to wash and scrub really hard the affected area and not touch it beforehand, and make sure nothing else touches it beforehand. The best thing I've heard is Dawn dish soap, because what Dawn does is it breaks down oils, and what the urushiol is on it is an oil. So Dawn breaks down oils. You're trying to break down an oil, it works pretty well. So the rash from the urushiol that you'll get, it takes 12 to 48 hours to appear, and then it will last 2 to 3 weeks. Now, fun fact is poison ivy is actually part of the cashew family, like mangoes, but all 3 of the poisons. So you have poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. Now, if you get this on you and you don't happen to clean it very well and you end up getting a rash, what you can do is you can take antihistamines, which are allergy medications, so like Reactin, Aries, that kind of stuff. And that will lessen the rash itself. You could also take stuff like calamine lotion, specifically for the actual rash, and then that will kind of help you ease through it. But what happens is people can have different ranges of it. So you could be allergic to it one time, not allergic to another time, different varying degrees of allergic reaction. It is based on a couple different things. You have just the person to begin with. You might not be initially allergic, but you might be exposed to a whole bunch of it. Spider web. As well, the more you're exposed to, the higher chance you'll have of having a bad reaction, the longer it lasts on you, depending on how well you clean, all kinds of stuff like that. So you really need to make sure you kind of stay aware of it when you're out in the woods. It grows everywhere. And then as well, you need to make sure you're cleaning really well. So anytime after I go for a hike in the woods, I go back, and when I have my shower, I scratch my legs really hard with soap from like the knees down, just in case I've come into contact with any poison ivy, because it is possible. There are some lookalikes out there, so you need to be mindful of that. If you're in doubt, you can use an app like Seek, Picture This, stuff like that. That will help you identify the plant itself. That way you know. But generally speaking, yeah, you're looking for kind of the 3 leaves. They droop a little bit, and that 3rd leaf is really far out. Now, you have 2 lookalikes, specifically I'm going to talk about real quick. Virginia strawberry, which is very small, and it has 3 leaves all together from the stem and very prickly. That one's safe. And then as well, you have wild black raspberry, which grows on these long vines that are typically blue or purple, but they have thorns. So those each have 3 leaves, but you know they're not poison ivy, so you can narrow those off. But yeah, poison ivy will never have thorns. So if you see something with thorns that you think could be poison ivy, immediately you know it's not. But yeah, that's it for me. Make sure you stay aware of Western poison ivy and try not to get it on yourself.